Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seats. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw! Welcome to the Southern Fried Podcast Hump Day News. And Robert, first time live here on the old Southern Fried.
We are here. We are here.
We hope to have some people join us, and we'll be doing a lot of lives going forward. This is we've been working for this day for a while.
Oh yes, we have really been looking.
So, how'd your day go, Rob? Had a good day?
Yes, my day was great, and everything went just the way we wanted it over here. So
Awesome.
we got rain. We got all kind of stuff going on. Give me just a second here. Let me fix some stuff here. Okay, much better.
Mo better.
Mo better. See, what's happening is I'm you know me. I'm a computer guru, and I've got my screen set up here. And when we went live, it was playing one thing over here, then another thing over here, and it was messing with my head. So,
well, it don't take much to do that for either one of us. So and we're still getting used to things, but we're just by way of sharing. I mean, we're going to be doing starting out. We may expand them. We're going to see. There's going to be some different folks coming in, visiting us on these lives, and we've got another live, a couple lives, hopefully this week for sure. Not just tonight, but we're hoping to do a morning news live, and then Friday night is Front Porch Live, Front Porch Talking Live. That's where we just talk about whatever. And these news lives, we'll talk about some things, what's going on. We're going to look at it with a Southern and funny slant because we like to laugh and cut up. There's serious things goes on too. We try not to get too serious, but there's things going on. We're right in the middle of election season. People are concerned about it, and we'll be streaming. So that's going to cover the news up. I mean, so so there's those things that are going on, and we're not here to preach at you about the politics, but it is, it's been an interesting couple of weeks in the political world for sure, and it just seems to change by the hour. Then, like you said, we got a little rain. We needed that throughout the South, these farmers and getting some rain. I've talked to so many people that have gardens that half their gardens just burn up. It's just gone. It's too late. They're doing good on some things. They're doing no good on others. So the rain may be a little too late for that, but rain's always right on time. We thank the Lord for it. We've got a schedule that we'll be posting, and we're working on a lot of things. And Chris will be up here in a few minutes. He's been a real blessing to us, Rob. Just those things he's working on. He's an experienced content creator, and he is doing a lot of the logos and stuff. We give him ideas, and Rob, he just goes and does it.
He just does it. Say, okay, it's like this. I said, I'd kind of like our logo to be a skillet of cornbread. Maybe we'll get a flag backing on it. Oh, and then he came up with this thing too. So he came up with this.
Yeah.
And he came up with Cornbread Nation.
Yeah, we got the breadheads, and going to have the Cornbread Nation, and come be a part of the Cornbread Nation. We all should be some breadheads, I grew up loving me some cornbread. Now I'm going to tell you. I got something. We'll jump off in a minute here. Speaking of that, and hopefully we'll get some to join us. But I just want to ask one of those questions. But we've got content that comes out really every day. Some of it will be recorded. We're really excited about our partnership with ARA, Animal Rescue Alliance. We got dogs and kittens and cats. I guess I should say they don't do too much kittens, but dogs and cats every week, Rob.
That's right.
Today was they have what?
They
Well,
didn't have kittens.
they did have some. That's right. They did have
No, they've
some.
got a bunch of kittens.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my
Well,
goodness, they were
I thought they
climbing
were
all.
trying not to get them, just to let them get a little older because of the
Yeah, they
disease and stuff. That
they want their kittens to get a little bit older, but they've got kittens. Oh my goodness! And when they get them to you, they're still young enough to where they are still kittens.
yeah.
Okay, these little suckers were climbing my legs and everything else. One got all the way up to my shoulder before I got him stopped.
Well, we got and they've been they post a lot. They're on social media too, and we've partnered with them, and they've just been great to us. And we want to reciprocate and get the message out. They had a picture up of an adoption, and I think the guy came from Tallahassee. That was cool, really exciting to see the dog and forever homeowner. They're getting ready to go home, and that was cool.
And I think they also had one come from Bryant, Alabama.
Bryant, Alabama. Well, that's pretty ways up this way.
That's a pretty
So
big shout out right
so let's give them a shout out, and if you can't adopt, give them give them some love with some donations or something. We got a lot of animal lovers that watch, and I know you give to other causes, but make ARA. They're doing some fantastic work. I mean, just
there. They really are.
fantastic. I mean, the more we learn, the more we like. I mean, it just gets better and better. Go back and watch our program when we had them on, and they'll be back on again. But go back and watch that and meet some of those forever owners of animals, cats and dogs, and you can see the passion in what they do. Well, we got a hello here from Earl Hester Jr. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I like that y'all in there, and we appreciate him jumping in here, one of our faithful followers, and we appreciate you. And
Well, let me give you some history on that feller.
all right, I'd like to hear about Earl.
I ain't gonna go too far, but because I could go way back, but yeah, I've known old Mr. Hester there for quite some time. We've done quite a bit of fishing together.
Awesome.
We've got a lot more history together too, but we'll right now for this show, we're just gonna call it fishing.
So when y'all went fishing, who usually came out with the bigger fish? Was it Earl or was it Rob? I'm
Well,
thinking probably
how
Earl.
I'm going to answer that, and I already know how he's going to answer that. So
we love you too, brother.
I caught the biggest. Oh yeah.
Hook-
I caught the biggest one. I hooked him
hooked-
many years ago. So the biggest fish I caught in fresh water, it was a dorkfish. It was an accident. Fish hit right at the boat. I set the hook. He spit it, and it went right in his leg. I took it out for him, though.
Oh, a likely story accident. No, I know Rob wouldn't do that on purpose. But here. I want to know if you laughed about it ever after that.
Oh, I laughed then.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna tell you what I told him a long time ago. Now that's been years ago that I hooked him. He needs to quit living in the past. We need to live in the future. We need to be looking forward. Oh, you did not have to put that up there.
We want all the world to see. And it showed up on your side. That's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, now you see what you've done there, Mr. Hester. You done got me in trouble. That's all right, though. It was an accident. It did not require a visit to the emergency room.
Well, we would hope not. What were y'all fishing for that day? Bass or catfish or just whatever?
Apparently, I was fishing for a dorkfish. No, we was bass fishing. We was bass fishing.
Okay.
But normally, this is the way it works. One of us wears the other one out, usually. Sometimes we go out there and we both have good days. And some days we go out there and one of us be having a good day, the other be not having such a good day. And I can't fish with the rubber frogs. He can. Okay. And when they want a rubber frog, they want a rubber frog. And I'll throw everything in my box because I hate throwing them things. He did. He did. That was after I hooked him. Yes, yes, yes. You yelled and woke up the American spirits in the cave. The bats came flying out.
Oh,
Fish
yeah.
came running in. People were driving down to the bridge there about 100 yards away from us and screaming out, "Are y'all okay?"
Well, when you get the hook out,
huh?
well, I say when you get that hook out, it'd be okay.
Yeah. But that was the past, dude. That was the past. We're gonna live in the present now. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna kind of let that just kind of fall to the wayside a little bit. I don't think we probably need to talk about that much more. I'm sorry. I'm still sorry. It was still funny, but I'm still sorry.
I appreciate Earl bringing it up because I hadn't heard that story before. So,
Well, no,
that's why I got to get hooked in with some of the old boys down there, so they'll tell me some Robert stories from his youth. You know, I know plenty from older, but not younger.
No, that was still 10 years ago. You've known me long.
Yeah, I've known you longer than that.
Has it been 10 years, Earl? It might be longer. It might be closer to 15. I mean, it's in the past. It's in the past. It wasn't a new thing. But I will say this much about it. Brother Hester, you are. Oh, there are more, but not for live. Oh, let's not bring any of them stories up. Brother Hester.
We'll be nice, Rob. We'll be nice.
My brother, I am going to say this. You have the honor and privilege of being the only person I've ever hooked.
Well.
Yeah, that's a privilege, you know.
I don't think he was probably thinking it was a privilege at the time, but maybe now it's an old war wound, you know, kind of talk about it, you know.
Yeah, he kind of walks with a limp. I don't think it's from that hook, though. It might be. I did pull it right on. Oh.
When's the last time you got to go? Well, you told me you got to go fish here recently. You went down and caught quite a. Well, I think the storm run you out. You got quite a few, but then the storm hit. You were out there cleaning.
Yeah. No, I was cleaning them. I was cleaning them when the storm hit. And let me tell you something. It rained on me. You know, it's summertime here, and I went out and caught me a big old mess of bluegill, and I was out back cleaning them. And here come the rain right in the middle of the cleaning. And I just had to, just hunker down and, just enjoy it. And it passed, and I hurried up and cleaned them because there was another line of storms right behind it. And I was like, ooh.
There you go, Rob. Does that make you feel better?
Well, yeah, I beat him that day. The biggest one. He has nightmares. What do you have nightmares about? You scared I'm going to fish you with my weird lures?
So what do you like fishing for more? Just going fishing, or is there a certain, is it bass or catfish, or what do you like doing more?
I love bass fishing.
Okay. The fight of them, just.
Yeah, it's the fight. It's the, you have to actually work for them bass sometimes. And knowing what to throw, when to throw, how to throw, and how to work it, and when you catch one bigger than your buddy, and and you look at him, say if you knew how to fish, you'd be catching one like this too, or he'd be looking back at you. If you could set a hook on with a rubber frog, you might be able to catch something, And the bass is just
Yeah, I think every fisherman has a story where you had that just monster fish and you come up out of the water and he's hooked, especially on bass, and they shake that thing out of their mouth. And that's the last time you see the monster fish. It's great stories, but it's hard to retell because you say, "Oh, he was this big, he was massive, it was an 8-pounder, And well, he shook the hook off, and that's the last time I saw of him.
Yeah. Yeah. We had the last time I went up that way, me and brother Hester there, we went fishing, and we went fishing at this pond, and I laid into a good, a beast. Yeah, we ended up not getting it in. But it was a beast. That was going to be my wall hanger right there. I'd done seen it in the water, and she took it, and mm,
Yeah.
it over that one. But that's part of the fun. You don't catch one like that every time you go, unless your name is Rob.
Yeah. Well, Rob, let's pop a news up. Let's pop something up. Let's give them something to look at here besides us. And we stored a few little things away just for this live because we wanted to, and we're going to keep talking to Mr. Earl while he's in here, but we wanted to show a couple of pictures of just conversation starters, I guess you would say. And the news is filled with, oh, it's so hard to watch. People get tired of it, and then it's the same old talking points. So we thought we'd do a little bit different kind of news, and some things have came into the newsroom.
I went by the Home Depot,
okay,
and they have a new toilet system.
All right,
this is the his and hers bathroom setup that they're trying to put out now, and you can actually use the bidet set up there to squirt each other. And this little setup here is gonna end some marriages, I do believe.
I got a couple of questions about this. Well, there's probably more than a couple, but just by way of equipment, if this is the new system, first of all, well, there's no, back in the old days, there was the old magazine rack, the reading room. Now it's the cell phone room, I don't see anywhere to put the cell phone or to charge it or anything. So, some people camp out a little bit. You're going to need a charging system there for the phone.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
You could put a bench in there if you needed to, but like I said, I don't see an outlet. I'm trying to look up down under the picture if I see one higher.
You got to have a way to charge or a battery backup or something, Some people, they go for a while to the restroom, but that's quite a setup right there, So, or is it this? Is the cell phone not meant to be taken and you're supposed to talk? This is conversation time.
We've both heard of talking crap. I guess this could be like the personification of it. I hate to bring that up right there, but I'm just saying.
Interesting setup. I wonder. Listeners will have to let us know if they like that or not like it. And Earl said he went today and got nothing. So those days too. But yeah, this is interesting. An interesting setup. I don't know. We'll have to get our listeners to let us know how they feel about that. So.
You knew that was going to be the first one I threw up, right?
I knew it. I was sitting here thinking, okay, I know which one he's going to put up is that one. That was you know what? When I saw that, I instantly thought of you. When that came into the news desk, I thought, Robert, this is yours. This is just seems like this is some things are for you, some things are for me. That one just seemed to kind of flow your way,
I can't read this. I don't know what this is. This is shot in the dark. We're going to throw it up there. Ready?
Ready. Oh, Lord, this is a good one. Name something your mom hit you with when you were little. Well,
got her hands on.
Let's go down the list. Well, we know switch. Floss water. In the summertime, Mom had to floss water, killing flies. So that became a a weapon of choice. Newspaper, magazine, you're sitting there reading something and it's in your hands already. Just roll that thing up and, give them a
Belt.
couple of
Go and
a
throw the belt
belt.
out.
Mom wasn't too into the belt, but of course dad, but so mom wasn't into the belt too much, but hickory, fly swatter, a newspaper. Well, how about this? Now, I can't say mine was, but a lot of kids our age, or when they were kids that are our age now, they remember those little orange racetrack pieces you could put together. I know
Oh,
for a fact that there were some kids that
that's
I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying it's a fact that they got hit with those things a few times. I had a friend that did. I know this. I saw it.
mm,
Those would be rough.
cruel and unusual punishment. Those little
Well, yeah.
race car things were, no, can't do that. That is, no.
No, my mom would have never done that, but I do know that it happened. And I've seen people post about that. That said they don't even know what to call it. They just call it the orange racetrack pieces or
It's off the Hot
matchbox.
Wheels racetracks.
Hot
Those
Wheels,
things,
yeah.
you could bend them in loops and everything
Oh
else.
yeah,
And those things would wrap all the way around, and they were tough.
they were tough. They had the hard piece on the they had the hard piece on the bottom that would hook together to put the track together. You didn't want to get hit with that part for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
You done made me cringe. Let's move that off.
well, wait. One more. How about the old drying towel?
That's a wash rag. That's a wash rag.
Whatever. That's another
rag.
one. That's another one.
You get beat with a wash rag. And there's a reason why they call them things wash rags. They're bad.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna pull us another one up. I don't even want to think about wash rags or nothing else like that. Oh, that's bad. I can't read this one, and I have not previewed these, so here we go.
We might get in trouble here, so we have to be very delicate.
Let me turn that ticker off a little bit just to make sure everybody can read this picture that Dave has given me to put up here.
We might have to leave this for our listeners to work out a list and send it to us. I don't know if we can.
By all means, if y'all come up with a list for this, send it to us. We will put it out. But I've got to find the ticker. Why can't I find the ticker? It's down here somewhere toward the bottom. There it is. All right, there. Now y'all can read the whole thing. Name songs not to sing while in prison. Guys, we try to be Christian and respectful on here. So y'all keep that in mind while you're responding to this. Ooh, Earl's got a good throwback for what Mama woke you with, a CB antenna. No joke. Oh, I bet that would rap good.
Well, Earl, we can. I think we can show this one. Sing me back home.
Well, I'm running a little bit behind here. Sing me back home.
I like it. Well,
there are so many that you shouldn't sing while you're in prison.
Yeah, there's a bunch, and I'm not going to name them, but
I'm going to throw one out there. Dude looks like a lady. I think that would be one that you definitely wouldn't want to sing in prison, or the famous "Man, I Feel Like a Woman." Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, neither one of those are gonna go good.
Oh, Rob.
I'm just throwing it out there. Just saying. I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just, you You put that up there. You know me.
I tempted you.
The temptation's too much, dude.
Earl said he's going to text you some song titles. Well, you'll have to.
Those definitely won't be up on there.
That's an off the air list to be shared.
Yeah. So.
Earl, I thought about that one. I wasn't going to say it. You're all over it because that's the song. For some reason, I don't even like that song for no reason, but it popped in my head.
I would say also that the theme song from the Dukes of Hazzard probably wouldn't be a good song to sing while you're in prison.
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay, let's you tempted me enough with that one. I have no idea what this one is, but I'm gonna put it up there. Let's see. If brains were gasoline, oh yeah. This is a good one. I got to take the ticker down again so we can see the whole thing. Give me just a second. Why did it do that? I didn't want it to do that. There we go. Now, this sounds like an Uncle Jeb saying here. Said if brains were gasoline, some folks couldn't run a pissant's go-kart 2 laps around a Cheerio. That is probably one of the truest statements that has ever been made. I don't know if that's news or not, but you know what? It's news. I don't know who that old feller was there that said that, but I sure am glad he said it because some people need to hear stuff like that.
It does sound like something Uncle Jeb would say.
Definitely.
I will say that.
Definitely.
Without a doubt.
He probably has said the equivalent,
as we like to say on here, their cornbread ain't done in the middle. There's just some people that they run a brick shy of a load, full load there. Something's wrong,
My goodness. Oh, that's just like, talking about somebody getting hit with the ugly stick, But I know people that fell out of the top of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. When Chris gets on here, you'll see what I'm talking about. But
boy, you're in trouble.
No.
By the way, I was gonna say, I was thinking earlier, and I delayed here, but right in the middle of our doing some news here and stuff, I was going to ask you. Speaking of cornbread, I thought about this the other day. What kind of butter is best, and 2, is there such a thing as too much butter on hot cornbread?
No.
Your thoughts?
No, there is no such
thing.
The
doctor would say there's too much. I'm not talking about that, but just from a fear.
He's talking about to start with. He told me, I just went to the doctor yesterday, as a matter of fact, and you know what he told me? He said, "Mister, you need to get in shape." I said, "I'm round." That is a shape, and it's a great shape.
Take that, doctor.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, my wife and my son will get a kick out of this, but I wasn't there, but I don't doubt the truthfulness of it. So the doctor, Josh, and he won't mind me saying, to my youngest son, he went with his mama to the doctor. She was a little fella, and he's kind of he was a round guy, a little bit, kind of chunky. Anyway, he was the old doc was telling my wife to walk more, the same stuff we just love to hear, right? Eat less, walk more, lose weight, and all that stuff. Talking about getting out on a walking track, and I don't remember exactly how he said it, but he said something about taking my son along. He needed to go too. So that's all that took to light that gas for Josh, and so the old doc he was kind of a chunker too. He had some weight on him, and Josh was like, "Well, what about you, Doc? You need to get out there."
Hey, yeah, go, Josh. Tell him, take no junk off them doctors. How many?
If you're gonna give out this advice, maybe you need to take some of it for yourself. And what could he do but admit that he needed to?
Yeah, here's a, you know, these doctors have gone to school for how long? I mean, they go for years.
Years, yeah, at least.
And they don't even realize that round's a great shape. I mean, come on. And look, I'm ashamed to admit this. And you're going to take a Southern point away from me. No, you may not, because there's reasons why I have to do it.
Okay.
I don't use real butter anymore.
All right.
I use vegetable-based butter, plant butter. It tastes on it is not quite the same, but it's not bad. But I eat it for health reasons.
Sure.
Sugar. I don't do sugar in my sweet tea. Sorry. If I go out to eat, yeah, I'll have sweet tea. But here at the house, I don't. I use what is it, sucralose to sweeten my sweet tea with. It gets it close. It's not exactly the same, but it's bearable.
Yeah.
But sometimes we make these adjustments, whether we want to or not. In my coffee, yes, I use creamer and sweetener in my coffee. I like it that way. I know it's probably more manly to drink it black. I like it black sometimes. I like sugar and creamer.
I thought you did drink it. I thought you did drink it black. I didn't know that you put anything in it.
I used to.
Back years ago when we were drinking a lot of coffee around each other, it was black. I don't remember you putting anything in.
Yeah.
But we make adjustments.
Yeah, we make adjustments as we age. We change a little bit. But now I realize it's manly to drink it the way I flipping like it.
Well, as long as you don't come in here saying you're drinking decaf, or I'm gonna have to kick you in the rear end.
I did try the decaf. I tried it. They told me I needed to drink less coffee, so I tried the decaf. I didn't like it.
Yeah. If I got to go decaf, I'm giving it up. I'm done.
Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. We're going to find some way to make it bearable, but, I'm not thinking I'm going to be done with coffee. They maybe give up plenty of other stuff, and I don't think I'm hanging on to my coffee tooth.
If you got to do that, Rob, just get you some hot tea. Come on, man. Come on. Decaf. Come on, man. Really? Yeah.
Dude, I know you did not just say my wife drinks hot tea.
Well, of course she does, and that's great. But I'm talking about you.
I'm quite sure that was made for women folk. And,
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying.
I'm not drinking it.
You come in with some green tea.
Some green tea. No, not happening. Okay, we got to go to a different picture here. We still got some.
Well, before we go to the next one, just on this one point here, okay.
You fixed to nail me again.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, okay, if you went decaf, if you progressed, you're not there yet, but if you did, would you go instant?
Let me put this out there, and the most politically and morally correct way that I possibly can. My grandfather drank instant coffee.
I think it's disgusting. I just won't do it.
I grew up where if we had coffee, it was instant. And then we went to a restaurant, and I kept wondering why restaurant coffee was so much better than at home coffee. And he would say, "Well, it tastes the same." No, it does not.
No way.
I don't allow instant coffee in the house. That can be warm food. If you like instant coffee, hey, more power to you. Don't bring it here.
I'm just saying, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
it. No. Absolutely, I'm not drawn on.
What's your brand, man? What kind of coffee you like?
Well, I like medium to dark roast coffee. Most any flavor. I get mine in a very large container at a very large box store that I don't really want to call
Yeah,
the name of it. It's their brand.
Okay, cool.
So, but yeah, stronger than I do.
I,
But I
I
see
don't I don't like
you
it
would,
too.
oh, dude, that's changed then because I remember you and I used to make it like a full cup of coffee in the filter and dump some water through it, some hot water through it, and chug
Yeah,
it.
I like a 100% Colombian and just and I'm not into flavored coffees or nothing. Just 100% Colombian, about medium, maybe a little stronger than medium roast.
Oh,
But
gosh. I'm gonna because if I don't fess up, my wife will watch this and throw me under the bus.
surely
You're
not.
making this hard. I like the flavored creamers.
I kind of figured when you said you were putting things in there, I kind of figured. So what's your flavoring that you like? You said
I like.
pecan or something, wasn't you telling me that?
Oh no,
Or
no,
was
no, no. That is the
that's the
only flavored
coffee?
coffee
Okay.
I like. That Southern pecan coffee. Oh my goodness! And I'm gonna try to get a lady on here that'll have a way for folks to purchase this.
Yeah.
If you like hazelnut, you'll love this stuff. This stuff is absolutely amazing. Um, Southern pecan coffee, but uh, we have little things like we'll go to the store and I have to go for the zero sugar, so I don't have the selection that everybody else does. And there's French vanilla, hazelnut. There's a salted caramel that is absolutely amazing. I have to be careful on getting that stuff. And at Christmas time, they have my absolute favorite. It's like a white chocolate peppermint.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, 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 oh,
I don't
oh,
think
oh, oh. I know that's what Santa Claus up there when he's up there at Rock City when it's cold. I bet you that's what he's drinking. Coffee
whew,
with that. I have to
I don't
ask him
think I
about
could
it.
handle that.
Oh, dude, no, 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 no. It's got a little bit of a chocolate flavor, and the peppermint doesn't overpower. It just kind of enhances it a little bit. It's not as bad as you think it is. Well, of course, if you put more in there, it would be. You know, just saying, throwing it out there.
Uh, all right, let's go to our news. By the way, speaking of news, in the
Yep.
South here, our one of the teams we really follow is the Braves. Boy, they've been struggling, man. I mean, injuries and stuff. Phillies are going to win the division. Braves have an excellent shot at being in the wild card, but man, every major star is getting hurt. I mean, this has been a nightmare for the Atlanta Braves because you Braves fans out there, oh, we're just struggling. I just hope that if there's some redemption out of this, maybe the Braves will take all that bad mojo, and when football season gets here, Georgia won't have those kind of things because those are just killers. They've
Yeah,
had 4 or 5 players out for extended time, some for the year, and these are big stars. That's tough. I mean,
yeah.
so tough.
It's and to go in with so much potential,
Oh,
they have a lot
yeah.
of potential. But
And they
that's the baseball passes at times. You just these things are going to happen, and some our brains have been notorious about getting just plagued with this kind of stuff, though.
they've
Ah,
had some pretty major injuries the last 3 years. I mean, and one of those players multiple. So, um, man, but maybe they can get somewhat healthy. I don't see them winning it all, but you never know. Get hot in the playoffs. You never know. But boy,
well, the only
us
one
Braves fans are struggling.
I'm going to say for sure with a fair degree of certainty that the Braves will not win it all this year, but this team will.
Go Dogs.
That's right. All right. I'm going to throw us over here to the side because you gave me a piece of fake news.
Okay, fake news.
I did not believe this when I saw it. Okay. Shoved in the back with no AC, video games, iPads, TV, or internet, and I still survived. That part is true. But let's dig into this story a little bit here, okay?
All right.
You see them youngins with balloons and playing around and being all happy? What year model is that station wagon, roughly? With the wood panel on the side? I'd
I
say it's
mean,
probably the 70s,
I would guess 70s. I don't know the year,
maybe
but
late 60s.
that was a popular model. I mean, we
Yeah,
saw a
yeah.
lot of them. Every once in a while, you still see one out there running around.
Yeah.
Somebody's redid.
But here's where the fake news comes in. If you ever saw that model of car back when it was in production, pulled over on the side of a road like that, them youngins ain't gonna be playing with balloons. They're not gonna be all happy and jumping up and down, and Dad's not gonna be standing up here in the corner grinning. That's not gonna happen. Them youngins just got their butts tore up. Okay, fake news. Don't fall for it. You never saw this model of a station wagon back when it was in production in this situation. No. There was some kids just got an attitude adjustment.
So, Robert, there were a couple of different types of models when you're talking about station wagon. I mean that very back part.
Yeah.
I rode in the back of something. Now, some of them had a way you could have a cargo area, but they also had a way that you could have two more seats or maybe more. But I've rode back in the very back where there was no seat. You just bounced along because
Yeah.
the car was loaded down, and I was one of the younger ones at the time, and so the older teenagers got the seats, and I'd be back there with some of my younger cousins bouncing along down that dusty road you talked about headed to church. I can remember that like it was yesterday, man. I have rode in the back of some of those quite a bit in my youth.
Yeah.
They
And I don't,
actually were pretty nice cars. They had a good ride to them. Um, I didn't look at it as now some people look at them and go, man, what an ugly car. But actually, the car was they were pretty good cars. A lot of them were V8, and
mhm.
they could chug on down the road, and you could fit a lot of people in there. I mean,
You know,
I'm just gonna say I rode counting me with 12 before. I know that.
oh, yeah. Uh,
I know it because you squeezed in smaller kids. You squeeze them into that middle seat, you'd get more than you're supposed to, and then everybody else
mhm.
piled in the back. So I definitely um, have been, and I survived.
They were not a cool car. Okay.
No, not
But
a
let me,
cool car.
I learned how to drive on the road with one of these things pretty much. Because my mom would come pick me up. We'd go down to fish on Lake Talcott or something.
Yeah.
We had a place down there. And um, I remember my first encounter with cruise control happened in a later model of that car, not that model, but a later model of it. And we had pulled up to a stop sign, and I'd had the cruise set. And we were going about 60 miles an hour, going five over, speed limit. And we had hit a stop sign. And so I stopped. Well, instead of just speeding up and resetting the cruise control, I hit resume. Now, this station wagon had a V8. I mean, it was the Haas ad. It kind of hunkered down in the back end. It said, "Boom," and I mean, it started going. Now, at first, it wasn't that bad, but let me tell you something. It shot to 60 pretty quick, and my mother was over there on the Flintstone brakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we finally
That's,
got it. It finally hit the speed it was supposed to hit, and yeah, she didn't. Yeah, she said, "I think we have learned a valuable lesson." I said, "I think you are right."
some of those had some power brakes too. You had to be careful about putting them on. I mean, you'd
Oh,
sling everybody forward, but they had good power steering. I mean, like I said, it could be a comfortable ride, but they were awful ugly.
Yeah,
But
it seemed
they
like
didn't,
went
you know,
on
they
the
didn't
worst.
get them for looks. They got them they had big
Oh,
family. They had, several kids. So
they
that was
were
the
hard.
mom. There was probably some dads who had one of those, but I think that was more the mom car. That was the minivan of our day.
Yeah, that was the
The
soccer
soccer
mom.
mom. Yeah, that's what that is. His dad, he would have had a truck or something like that.
Dad
This
would go drive that dorky looking thing.
what was it? The movie Vacation. They didn't get the car they
Oh
wanted.
yeah, with a
They
Chevy Chevy.
yeah, and they brought that ugly car out there, and he's demanding his car back, and it's all crushed down. So they ended up having to take it. Then they destroyed it on the vacation. Oh,
What was it?
classic movie.
What was it? He tied the dog to the bumper.
Yeah,
Of course, Grandma was dead and tied on top. I don't think she
yeah.
was dead yet.
No, not then. She called him a dog killer.
Yeah.
That car went through a beating. I mean, it jumped things. It had wheels all messed up. That grandma tied to the top after she passed on. The dog passed away from being jerked down the highway. I mean, it was a part of a cash and grab. They put a check in there, but he grabbed the cash and left. And they had a lot of rough stuff going on in that old car. Them old guys took him for a ride to fix it. They just gave him old junky tires and everything. And then he rode it up to what was the name of the place with John Candy's the guard and Wonder World or something like that. And and it's closed.
Wally World.
Wally World. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Cheryl T going by making the eyes at him. Oh, that was hilarious.
And he's trying to forget what kind of car he's driving. In fact, he looks around like, oh. that was a classic, man. That's legendary.
Out of that whole movie, yes, that was a great and legendary movie, but it introduced Cousin Eddie, who became an icon. Okay.
No doubt. You keep sending them checks now. Got them old ugly white shoes on.
Yeah. And hamburger helper's pretty good. You don't even really need hamburger with it.
The kid was mixing the Kool-Aid with their arm or the tea. I think it was Kool-Aid, but brings back. That's some funny movie. Who wrote that song, the vacation song? Do you remember that?
Holiday Road?
Yeah.
I remember the song. I don't remember who sang it.
The great Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, that was his. That's always been a huge claim for him as he did that. He did all of that in the studio, put all the voices, everything. He came up with all that.
Wow.
Just a genius. He's kind of the master, kind of a crazy at times. I mean, because he just thinks in so many different layers. It's hard, he's like the mad scientist. He gets in the control room and he's coming up with all these crazy ideas, which some worked, some didn't, but that's the way it is, so he was hard to record with but he was a genius, but geniuses can be hard to deal with sometimes, but that's his. That was all his. That wasn't with Fleetwood Mac. That was his. So
now we do have some more news, a little bit more here. And I want to put this one here up, and I really think that this is almost like a public service announcement. Do
you know who that is?
Who is that?
That's the Goat Man.
Well, I kind of figured that.
He traveled throughout the South, and matter of fact, Santa we had on covers him quite a bit. I may have taken that from his page. I don't remember. He covered him recently, but he likes to post stuff about him. He traveled all over. Now I read that, and we don't have time to go on the whole story, but I've read that in some cases he would load everything in the back of some rental truck truck to another place and then drive through town. But he was a interesting person, and if I remember right, it's kind of like that marketing that's done today when people get 3 for something or 4 for something or whatever. So he would say the pictures, he would take pictures of him and his goats and he would sell them when he'd stop at his roadside somewhere and people would pull up and be talking to him. And among other things, I'm sure, but I know he sold the pictures, and he would sell the pictures a quarter a piece or 3 for $1. And he went to the bank all day long doing 3 for $1 because people thought they were getting a deal. Now that's smart, man. That's smart. But well, they're a quarter piece, or you can get 3 for $1. And all they hear is 3 for something. Oh, $1. Oh, here you go. And wow. He's coming out way ahead. But Zen, I think it was that told me this. And Zen, if you see this, correct me if I'm wrong, and I may get a little bit of it slightly off. But I know that at one time he pulled up there where the McDonald's used to be there in Fort O, probably pre-McDonald's. I think this goes back before then. And he had a bunch of people around him, and this lady in a well-to-do, she had some money, had a nice car, Cadillac or something, pulls up, gets out and standing there. And she made a comment. I don't exactly remember how she said it. She said something about, "Sir, do you know you stink?" or something like that. I mean, the guy's around goats all day. He's running up down the road on this contraption. I don't know how often he takes a bath, but, she said, "You're rank," or "You stink," or something like that. And he said to her, basically, he said, "Well, lady, I got news for you. They didn't come here to see you. They came here to see me." That's a pretty good comeback.
Yes,
she just got herself back in her car and took off. But if I remember right, his last days were spent in a nursing home somewhere down in Georgia. I don't remember the name of the town. And that's where he passed on that, if I remember right. So if I got that wrong, somebody tell me, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to right.
Well, I'm sorry, I was confused. I thought that was a picture of Brother Hester the last time he moved. I was pretty sure that's where I saw that from, and I just wanted to see it.
Okay, well, it could be. There could be a couple things that look alike. I don't know. You know him better than I do, so I don't know. But we'll have to let y'all hash that out, as they say. Iron it out.
I'm just saying. I mean, that looks just like him moving the last time. Now he does live in Alabama. Not putting Alabama down.
You better not. We love our folks from Alabama. Alabama.
Well, we ought to say that like they do in Nevada. Alabama or something. I don't.
Alabama.
Have I already shown this? I don't know if I've shown this one or not. What is this? Oh.
Well, I like it.
Shout out to the girls who grew up playing in the dirt, who ran outside barefoot and weren't afraid to be one of the boys.
Hear, hear.
Here. And let me tell y'all something. Just because you might have been a tomboy, that does not make you a boy. I mean, we see these girls on these tractors, and they sure are girls, but y'all be you, okay? If you want to play in the mud, play in the mud. Do it. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. They grew up with their brothers, and sometimes they outran their brothers, outclimbed them, maybe outfought them. They were tough. Yeah. They grew up tough. Country strong, we call that.
Yes, we call that country strong. When you see a girl out there that ain't afraid to wear overalls, and I'm not talking about the women's overalls, but working overalls, then you've got somebody you need to keep.
We call that a keeper.
Yeah, we call that a keeper. Now, what is this other picture you gave me to put up here? I know the person that's in it.
Oh, that's from the Dukes, man.
Cooter's 25th anniversary.
Yeah, that was this past weekend. Of course, that's from the show. He's got the silver hair going on now, but they had the Hazard County Days, I think that was called, or something like that. And my understanding, it was a big success. I wish I could have been up there. I
That
think
would
it
be
was a 2-day event. They had music and vendors and all kinds of stuff and autograph sessions and stuff like that. I've never met him, but when I was up in Gatlinburg one year and the guy that played Enos was there in his uniform, they were taking pictures for
yeah.
$10 by the old police car. Well, I paid $10 for my boys to get a picture, I think, if I remember right. Well, he was just infatuated with my hat. I had my SCV hat on, and he was asking me about the hat. Well, I got over there, and he started asking me all these questions about heritage and history and family history and stuff like that. He just really wanted to talk. And while we were standing there, my sister snapped all these pictures of me and him talking. And but I did go in and buy something. But they wasn't anybody standing there at the time, so he spent the time talking to me. My sister snapped off a bunch of pictures, while
That's cool
while
to
I
do
was
that.
sitting there. Uh,
It's cool that he was willing to stand there and talk to you.
I want to tell you, he was very respectful, very
Now,
nice, and very
which
and sincerely interested. It was that's been many years ago, but that was
which
cool.
sister was that?
Which sister?
Yeah.
Not Heather. It was Tammy.
Okay. Okay. Just
If
checking.
I believe it was my sister Tammy that was taking the pictures. I could be wrong, but I think I'm pretty sure because I don't think that Heather was with us on that trip. I think it was just her husband, me, and Lynn and the boys. So if I remember right, but yeah, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. We don't have time on this show. We're gonna end this session here in a minute. But one of the moments we're gonna have to talk about is that man, when that show was on, I mean, every boy would be in front of the TV watching that, and their daddy.
Oh yeah.
That was man time right there.
We watched Dukes of Hazzard every week.
Yeah.
And then we left when Dallas came on.
Well,
Although
my mom didn't, and we had one TV, so she
Yeah.
was big into the Dallas and Falcon Crest and Knots Landing and all that stuff. So
I am not afraid to say that I actually owned a Who Shot JR t-shirt.
I figured you was going to say something like that. That was a huge deal at the time. Everybody was talking about it.
Nobody knew who. It was great. It was amazing.
They filmed different endings to that so that even the actors didn't know which one they were going to use. Everybody on the show, I think, including his mama, killed him. I mean, they didn't want nobody knowing who actually did it until they got back and started filming the new season.
Wow.
They didn't know until they saw it when it come out. They were sitting at home too. I guess that's what it was. They were sitting at home too, and they saw it air, and that's when they all learned because they wanted to keep the mystery alive. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Now, I got one more thing I'm going to throw up here.
All right.
I think this is more for a public service announcement. Another one. Okay. We want y'all to understand that when you come here to the South, whatever them dummy doctors have told you about coming here, and they've told you about what to eat and stuff like that, this is the Southern food pyramid.
I love it.
This is important, y'all. If y'all gonna come down here, eat like us. Okay.
And I have to say, I get my Southern point taken away, or maybe two. I don't care for the grits. So I'm good with everything else, Robert. I'm good with everything else. But you could slide some mashed potatoes in right there, and I'd be happy.
No grits. Do you like cheese grits? Come on, give me something to work with here.
No grits, man. No grits, no.
That is just a crying shame.
Hey, we all got.
That must be because he was born in northern Illinois.
Probably.
Wisconsin, somewhere around up there.
I really don't remember grits being a part of our food table. So I think that's why. I just didn't. My dad would eat it every once in a while, but it was never a big part of our our food. So I didn't grow up on it. So
Well, uh,
I think my dad, my dad liked country victuals and all that because he was raised on a farm, but he ate so much chicken when he was young. It took him a long time for him to eat chicken. So we didn't eat chicken. And there were a few things that he just had oatmeal. He wouldn't eat oatmeal. It took years for some of that, and some of it may never have, but there were a few things he didn't like because they had it every single day, in some form. They had chicken, grits, I'm sure was on the table, oatmeal and grits and all that. And he was just burnt out. He was just burnt out. So after a few years, he started eating the chicken in. Of course, he'd go to KFC,
yeah.
Now, they still made some chicken at home, but, grilled, fried it and all that, but not grilled, fried. But he did like him some KFC. By the way, that sweet tea, by the way, for our Yankee friends, it's got to be in that kind of glass. It's got to be in that kind of glass.
No, it doesn't.
It tastes better.
Now, it might taste better, but I'll go ahead and throw this out there. It does not have to be in that glass. Okay? That's a jar. Mason jar is fine. But actually,
the mason jar would have to be. Actually, that should just be the mason jar.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mason jars are good. I drink them out of anything. I drink.
Don't say plastic, man. Come on. Don't say plastic. Oh, Robert, not plastic, man. Come on.
Let me explain.
If you're gonna drink some sweet tea, it's got to be in a glass at least. Come on, man. Plastic. Come on, man.
Let me throw this out
there. Are you going vegan on me next? Come on, man.
No. I'm gonna throw this out there. Let me remove this thing off there so we could talk eye to eye here. I'm fixing to preach on this and there, Bubba. You just hang on just a second. We are fixing to have preaching time on this.
Well, I want them to see your face because you're fixing to promote plastic over a good old glass mason jar. Come on, man.
I'm gonna put you some thoughts out there. Whoa.
Hey, there's Chris. Chris is gonna come up here and he's gonna tell me I'm right and you're wrong. I know it. Chris, Chris, we're good, but we've gotten into a little difference of opinion here. Okay. Do you realize your brother-in-law, my friend, best friend, do you realize that he is trying to, I think, insinuate that it doesn't matter what you drink the sweet tea out of? I think he's fixing to promote plastic cups over a glass mason jar, man. I'm sorry, but I'm
glass mason jar.
Dude.
Come on, Rob. Come on.
I'm fixing to preach on this subject. How many times have y'all had to hand wash dishes? We got all these fancy dishwashers and stuff. You ever try to get your hand inside of a mason jar to get the inside of it good and clean?
I have actually. I have many times.
They make tools for that, Robert. They make tools.
Yeah. Back when we were kids, they were called toilet brushes, and I don't think that's what you want to be to clean your tea glass out with. You could get your hand inside of a regular glass and cup, but you couldn't get your hand inside of that. I mean, I'd have been more than happy to go clean your cup with the toilet brush, but I wasn't cleaning mine with it.
That's funny.
Let me tell you something.
What in the world would you have it? Hold on here. The only two things that really should be in the glass mason jar would be either sweet tea or water, ice water, maybe some Kool-Aid for the kids. What in the world do you got to scrub out that's going to be caked down in there that you put it in some hot water with some soap and it'll take care of itself, Rob. Come on, man. Yeah. Come on.
You obviously was born up there somewhere in North Illinois if you don't know what goes in a mason jar. You can anything from beans and squash and peas, even meats, sausage.
Well, yeah, with your cannon, but I'm talking about in between the times you use it as a drinking utensil. I mean, come on.
Well, where do you think them drinking utensils come from? You got to clean them jars. All right? And now we got all this dishwashers and stuff. It's a lot easier now. But let me tell you something. Does the glass jar, whatever you're drinking out of, make the tea taste different?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's exactly the point. I'm so glad that you figured this out now. Way to go.
No, I don't
Like
agree with
Coca-Cola in a glass bottle, it tastes different.
you. The only reason why they put Coke in glass bottles so you can put peanuts in it.
Man, he has went off the chain. This first live has just thrown him off the chain, man. I don't know what's going on with him.
Word.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on this point, man. But there is no way you're going to convince me that plastic created plastic cup made in a mold is better than that good old glass mason jar. Come on, man. Come on. Next you're going to tell me the solo cup is better than the glass jar. Come on, man.
Look, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Since I don't use sugar in my sweet tea anymore, and I have to use this sucralose stuff, it don't taste like sweet tea used to taste anyway. So what's the difference? If I go out to a restaurant and they're giving me real sweet tea, usually it's in a glass. But you know what? Anymore, they put it in them big old cups that say Coca-Cola on the outside of it. You don't even get a glass of sweet tea at the restaurant.
Well, there's very few restaurants that know how to serve a good glass of sweet tea anyway. There's a couple, but that's it. So, yeah, it's got to have a lot of ice, and they don't know how to put a lot of ice in the sweet tea. I'll say that. But
well, I don't know if it has to have a lot of ice or not.
I love you, Bubba. I love you. No way will I ever be convinced that plastic is the way to go.
Well, I can't do that.
I mean, no way will you convince me that drink out of something like this is better than the glass jar either. It's not. No way. Okay. Chris, it's good to have you here. You came in the middle of a big discussion. We want to say welcome to the genius and the guy who's putting in a lot of hard work creating logos and merch ideas and overlays and underlays and every other kind of thing to make this become a better and better product. Not afraid to step up and tell us some things we need to fix, and we appreciate that sounding board feedback. Chris, thank you, brother, and you're an equal part of this. I just haven't seen you very much outside of a time or two, but we're hoping to get you on a little bit more than that. But it's good to have you on this first live we have.
Thank you. I'd like to do it more often. Honestly, I do put in a lot of hours and such in the background, and I enjoy doing all that and do it, by my own choice because I just love it and I like y'all's friendship. And Dave, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you.
Yes, and sir. You too.
I know Knucklehead over there is my brother. He's my brother-in-law, but he's my brother.
Yeah.
There's friends and there's brothers and there's brother-in-laws. He's brother-in-law and brother. And
well, I mean, you need to go ahead and put out there. That's my good-looking brother-in-law.
Oh, you mean Chris?
No.
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah. I heard it, Chris. He just said we got to put it out there. Chris is my good-looking brother-in-law.
Look, let me go ahead and put this out there. I've got two brother-in-laws, and I can't say I was talking about the other one. Okay, let me throw that out there. I couldn't say that.
Y'all are a hoot.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. That's right. Yeehaw. 2 thumbs up.
Oh, hey, we're having fun. This is great. We have. It seems like it's been 6 months that we've been waiting to get to this point, and it's only been like 60 days. But you know what? Every single one of those 60 days, just about, there was a day or here that we didn't, but just about every one of those 60 days, and probably really, if you think about it, one of us was working to get to this point and make it a better product. I mean, from the very first thought till now, it's been a lot of work, and we're not complaining. We enjoy what we're doing. But like you said, the hours, Chris, you've put in on getting things just right, the lighting right, clipped right, looking good. It's a lot of work. We didn't just throw this thing together and go live one day. This is a lot of work that's been put in, and I'm very pleased with the outcome. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Me too. And Robert, with the Animal Alliance down there, and you with McCamey and other people that you've had on the show, you have your guests, all the coordination that Robert's done and you've done. To get a guest on the show, you got to make sure they have the ability to stream from somewhere, or they're going to need to come do it with you, or They have a fast enough internet connection? Do they have a good enough camera? Is it all going to work out? Then, you've got the show itself and all those things to talk about and get ready for. And I'm just super proud of what I've seen you guys do. I'm just super proud.
Well, thank you,
guys
man.
are cranking out the content. You're cranking it. You really are. And you're doing a great job at it.
One of the things about me and Dave both is we both like to talk. and we were trying to figure out, there was some Disney music or something real melodious in the background. Well, we were trying to figure out what's something we could do that we would really enjoy. And we both really enjoy talking.
Yeah.
and this just seemed like the perfect thing to do. But we decided we were going to talk about what we were going to talk about and the stuff that was important to us. And what we thought would send the message out there that we wanted to send. And we both said, this might get us canceled one day. And we both said, okay.
Okay. I'm not changing now.
No, we love what we're doing, and it's resonating out here with thanks to all of our breadheads out there.
Yeah.
Cornbread Nation.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me show y'all here. Let's pull this up again if I can do it. I'm going to try to. I don't know if it's going to let me. Oh, that's not doing it. That's not doing it. It's just still back there. But it was up. We showed it off earlier today when we didn't have 3 people on the screen. We showed off the background that you put together there.
I see it.
Robert, just drop me down for a minute and move y'all over and show that, because it is a great background. It really is, and I appreciate that.
Give me
go ahead.
Give me just a second. I'll drop you, and then I'll move us.
Yep.
That is
awesome. Awesome.
That looks awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's just blowing my mind that I took the pictures of that flag. It's a kid's flag from a 4th of July parade, and I had my friend's daughter hold it up against the wall, and I took pictures and I cut it out and everything. And it's actually 2 flags, one behind the other, and it gives a waving effect, if you will.
I love it,
man. Yeah. I thank God that He kind of guided my hands, and because I don't always have an idea. I just get in there and start working. Kind of like you do on your show. You don't always know everything you're going to talk about. And
what?
Good Lord, I'll give Him the credit.
It's got to be hard for you because Dave and I, especially me, I got no clue. I don't. Let me pop us back up here. I don't got a clue to like how to do something like that. I don't. And you and Dave do all the other stuff, and I'm like, all I can do is run my yak. But here you got me and David both going, hey, I've got this idea, and I've got that idea, and I've got this idea. Can you do so and so? What about doing so and so? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do it sideways? Go about upside down. What if we inverted that? What if we turned it around and looked at it the other way? And you've got all these things coming at you.
Yeah.
And you listen to it all. You make something, then it's right.
I may have 2 or 3 more ideas from you guys to continue making stuff. Because the T-shirt possibilities and the merchandise is just.
I love it, and those things are coming very, very soon. We're
yes.
This was step 1 was building content and the brand and all that. Now,
yes.
Step 2, getting live and getting comfortable. I think we've got a good product, and then the merch and all that. So, wow, 60 days. That's amazing to me. What a great land we live in. Seeing that flag back there, we just got to say, there's so many countries around the world we couldn't do this. We couldn't do it. I'm thankful with all the problems we have, and we got a bunch of them. This is still the greatest land on the face of the earth. Amen. And you can be whatever you want to be if you're willing to work hard. And that's a testimony to the good old USA.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's a great message to carry. And I know you guys do. I've seen it just watching your content. And I've gone back and watched a bunch of stuff, by the way. I've watched probably about 16 to 20 minutes into the longer ones. And then the shorter ones I watched completely through. And
just an awesome job you guys are doing. You know, it's not an accident that we're all sitting here together. You know, it's not an accident.
Right.
Robert knew to call me, and you guys knew each other, and then I get to meet you, or sorry, this finger or this way.
I lose track. I was in one of the shorts. I think I'm pointing this way, and I'm actually pointing that way. So we'll get it. We're crazy.
I know it.
I think that was my booby trap joke.
It was.
That was good. That was good. That was really good. That was hilarious.
And I love what you did with both of those, that one and the other one. Oh my gosh, I laughed so hard.
Thank you. With the laughter and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But, I'm like you, Chris. I go back and I really watch everything.
Yeah.
I'm a part of it, but I go back to critique myself, especially. And just to make sure that the sound's right and everything. And, you know, I mean, we're not perfect, but those videos are really good. I mean, they hold up. We've worked hard to improve stuff. We're still working on that. We're not done. I'm building a studio now to move into. That's going to become part of the next steps for me, and just turn this an area into, that's all it's going to be. And I'll have guests come in from there. But we want a good product, something that somebody can find some joy in, something they can laugh at. If nothing else, laugh at us. But we do cover the serious. I mean, you guys went live the night that the assassin attempted to take out former President Trump. That was a very emotional night. When we talked to AJ, as he's known, but John Aitchison, who'll be back on with us, he talks about the Southern Fried all the time. Mm-hmm. That was a hard program for me because I didn't want to. I mean, I don't want to dig into somebody's life where they're not comfortable going. And we just kind of left it open to him to kind of cover that. We really wanted the redemption part of that story, but to get there, he talked about things that happened to him along the way, which is very moving to me. And it actually without me even knowing it, hit close. I mean, right in my home, because my son was involved at one time, right live on the air. I didn't know that was coming. So we've had that kind of stuff to the pet association and getting in with those folks, and the emotional plea for these animals and stuff. It's very moving, to interviewing what's a living legend to me, Earl Friedenberg. Hey, we got to talk to Santa. Hey, who gets to do that? I mean, that's pretty cool stuff, to being able to talk to our people from Nevada, you know, and we've got more ideas coming. We're not done with the interviews. We'll have more coming.
Let's not leave Jason out.
I'm not. I was just trying to get through them all.
We need to do
one of our biggest interview ever.
Yes.
It was with Jason, and I'm hoping he can arrange it that the kids can come on and talk about their experiences with farming and what they see as the future of farming from their perspective. I think that would be cool.
If you could get him in for maybe an update part 2, over on the YouTube side, that video's done really well, and people watch that one for a long period of time. And he's a great guy on camera. He's great on camera. He really is.
It was so great. He made me feel so welcome. I'd never met him before, and he just good folk. Speaking of that, on YouTube, we want to drive those followers up. So if you're a YouTube person, go over there and follow us on YouTube. That helps with everything we're doing. Share it out over there as well. We really want to see the YouTube explode through these lives. It would be a big benefit for our program.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Chris, you've done a lot of work over there. I mean, I want to see it explode, if nothing else, for validation for all that you've done over there.
Yes. Thank you. I feel that way. I really do.
I know it has to bother you. We're sitting at like 20, and we know there's a bunch of folks on YouTube that would watch us. So we just got to find them. You're out there somewhere. We're putting out the call.
That's
the Hump Day call.
They call it the target audience, is what they call it on YouTube.
And we'll find it.
Target audience is what they want you to ask yourself all the time.
They'll find us.
Well, me and Robert, we're kind of crazy, and Chris, I think you're probably about like us, and there's bound to be some more people like us out there. I know it didn't stop with us.
Right.
Well, I think a lot of it is, it's because we're so good looking.
What can we say?
You can't have it, y'all.
I got to tell you, I'm going to give you a news special. I don't think I've ever told Rob this.
Yeah.
But it fits. It fits.
Okay.
All things are protected, Robert. Don't worry. I'm not throwing you under the bus. When I met Robert, we met at work. And without going into that part of his life, Robert had undoubtedly just had a rough time before he came to work there. His first day on the job. And he's just who he is. He never changes. I mean, that day, I remember him, he was talking some pretty crazy stuff. I'm not going to mention it. And this is no joke. I mean, no joke. You need to clip this out. This is a quote. I went to my boss and I said, hey, this new guy that you got, y'all got to get him the heck out of here. He's crazy as a loon. He's talking all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know if I feel safe around the old boy. And they said, oh, he's just a new guy. He'll settle in. I'm like, settle in? This guy's talking crazy. And then we become best friends. I don't know what that says about him or me, but here we are.
And after I'd been there 2 or 3 weeks and I was doing way more than everybody else was, they couldn't get rid of me.
Oh, he was a worker. I mean, a worker. He never stopped being crazy, but I found a friend real quick, and I loved him to death then. I love him to death now.
Yes,
he is a good one, and he's always made me laugh. If you don't ever notice that, I laugh a lot on the show. That's not popped in laughing for me. That's just he cracks me up.
Yeah,
you crack me up. You know, that's one thing about it. Me and David, we can just get all over the other one. Just jump right on them feet first. And just stomp and twist, and there ain't no water left in that mud. We've done made a brick, and and the other one's gonna look at him and go, so. And we're gonna laugh about it and go on. Yeah.
Oh man, we've had some fun times.
Oh, we can't. But bad thing is we can't talk about most of them on here.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I never went fishing with him. We've never been fishing together, and that's a big part of his life.
Wait a minute. We did hang out at the fish store.
We did do that. That's true. I would come over, and me and Robert would talk politics all day long. International politics. I'm talking about all kinds of stuff, but we'd also talk about the game we were playing that night online and, you know, sports and whatever. And then when somebody come in, he'd go make a sale, and then we'd come back. We'd sit and drink coffee. My wife would be at work. It's on my off days, and I was hanging out there so long, they put me to work. I mean, I was just donating some time. I'd help him move some tanks, clean out stuff, you know, and because I enjoyed hanging out there. We really did. I think I helped them move a little bit too when they moved that store, and but that was a lot of fun. It really was.
We had a ball. Yes, Chris. The fish. I had a fish store. Me and Tommy Dillon.
Yeah.
You want to guess the name of it?
Get Tanked.
That was it.
The reason I know that is because Chris Bond, my old friend Chris Bond, played keyboards in the band with me forever. He ran the show there, I think, for you or something, or worked there for you.
Yeah, he ran a shop there for a little while.
Yeah. And I don't know whatever happened there, but he used to talk about the fish and different species, and he had me down to his house a few times, and he'd show me all his fish and everything. Oh yeah, he'd talk about it for a long time if you let him. He sure would. Did you know Chris? Dave, did you know Chris Bond?
I think, but I'm not sure. I may have met him.
He was building a web page for us and stuff like that too. He was doing some of this type of work.
You know, I had an experience with my heart surgery, and he came to my bedside during surgery. He's been dead for 6 years. He came to my bedside with what looked to be the outline of a man that was glowing. And I've had other people describe the same thing, and they thought it was an angel. But it was a very interesting experience. It took me a couple of weeks before I even told anybody about it because I wasn't sure, you know, but it was so realistic. And the way I woke up, there were people nurses in the room working on me. And I woke up to them in the exact same positions working on things they were working on. And, you know, like never missed a step, you know.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. But
Wow.
he came to my bedside, and the man that was with him said that he had come to make sure I made enough urine and blood. And by urine, I think he meant kidney function,
Yeah.
to survive the surgery, for the surgery. But
Wow.
when I woke up, when they came to my bedside, I was open in my chest, and I was sitting up when they were been working in my chest, and I could tell that I was opened, but I could just see over it. I couldn't quite see down in myself,
Yeah.
but I could tell I was opened, and then
Wow.
it kind of morphed into I was covered in blankets and the nurses on my sides and such. But pretty awesome experience, Dave. Pretty awesome experience.
Imagine. Wow.
Pretty awesome. I even called his folks because they had a similar experience. His stepdad had experience where he had a heart attack and was unconscious for a period of time, and Chris came to him as well. And just very interesting, very interesting.
My dad had
a lot of different things. I'm sure. That's kind of
well. I was just going to say, my dad had a dream one time that his mom and dad was in a car wreck, and exactly what he dreamed happened. I mean, even the bruising and stuff they had, to when he first saw them, that was what he saw in his dream.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly the same way, the same injuries. My dad talked about that for years.
Yeah.
How he just felt like God was showing him something, a future event. It wasn't happening right at that moment, I think, but it was shortly after that it happened. He went to see his folks, heard about it, and then went and saw them, and exactly what he saw is the way they were. It was wow. All you say is wow. I don't know what to say,
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. I had my life flash before my eyes one time also. They say that when I kind of personally think too, that when you think you're about to die, that's probably some kind of reaction that happens in our brain or something. But I have seen that myself personally, and there were some things that came out of it. I mean, it just within about 3 or 4 seconds that I was upside down in a car wreck, and the window exploded, and flat. But it was like watching a movie on screen. Just
wow.
It was over. But I caught memories out of that. For instance, when I was first born, I had surgery on my eye here, and I described to my mother the room that I was in, and the crib, the colors of the walls, the rooms where the bathroom was, looking out the hallway and seeing nurses and doctors walk by. I was 6 months old.
Wow.
And, there were several things like that where I had memories where I shouldn't have.
Wow.
And things came to me that I saw in that little short movie. But it was
amazing.
It was wild. Yeah, it was wild. I've actually done that. So, yeah.
Well, that's cool though. I mean,
it's pretty wild.
Oh, you probably have to have some gray matter in between your ears for that kind of stuff to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm in much danger of that happening to me.
You're gonna be fine, aren't you?
I'm gonna be fine. Yeah, I'll just truck right on with it.
Are you hearing that, Dave?
I hear it. I hear it.
Look, I had surgery last year. I'm 1 week out from a year from when I had surgery, or I had the issues that led up to it. And let me tell you, looking back, the guys were reeling me down to surgery, and they were both Alabama fans.
No.
And
Did you say Roll Tide?
No, I chewed them out all the way down there. And they said, wait till you meet your doctor. He was a Florida fan.
Florida fan.
Hey, if they can keep me alive, I'll say Roll Tide, go Gators all day long.
No doubt. No doubt. They did a great job.
I'm their biggest cheerleader,
That's funny.
You got anybody else that can roll me down there? Wait till you meet your doctor. He's a Florida fan. Oh. But, I mean, God gives us challenges, and with his help, we can get through them. And that's the thing. We lean on him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he holds us up. And he's held us up. And when we do our prayer time, we always ask people to pray for us too, because, we want God to continue leading. We need it.
We all do.
We need it. We're all here for a purpose, for many purposes, but we're still here. God's not done with us, and I'm thankful to still be a part of it. And it's amazing. I see people younger than me that are passing on, and I'm very thankful. I don't take that for granted. To be here still with my family, to be here with my friends, be a part of something like this, that means a lot to me. It's just an amazing thing, to be able to always choose. I'm always going to choose life, and I may get slower. There's a lot of things going on, but among all we don't really talk a lot about politics, and this is not, but I have, with all the political craziness that's going on, at the heart of everything is our president is slowly headed towards that day, just like we all are, but his health is bad. And I find no joy in that at all. I hate that. And I pray for the man and for his family, just like I prayed for President Trump at that moment. I can't imagine what they were going through. That split second of life and death. And so we've got to pray for each other,
Yeah. And that was one of the things that Chris and I hammered out too. We would be just as upset if it was the president up there versus Donald Trump.
Right.
And we need to pray one to another.
Yes.
And that is important.
Well, we're to lift our leaders up, and we're to pray for them. And I wouldn't want to see nothing happen to anybody out there. Stranger, enemy, it doesn't matter. I don't want to see nothing happen to them. But, sometimes that happens in life. But all we can do is just hang on and pray for people, lift them up, and try to make it through ourselves to the next day.
That's right.
Robert, I just had a thought. When my days come to an end, however many videos we have here, you'll always be able to get up in the morning and be blessed by seeing my face and say, "There's Dave. He's not here anymore." If I go on first, and I want you to pull this episode back up. It was our first live all together. And I want you to just fast forward in that to where I gave you a hard time about plastic cups and sweet tea. You got that?
I got that. And let me tell you something. You need to eat your grits.
You need to do what?
He doesn't eat grits. He doesn't eat grits.
I love grits.
All true Southern people do, unless they're born in Northern Illinois.
I don't eat grits.
He probably likes cream. He probably likes cream of wheat.
No.
I love cream of wheat. You don't like it?
That's not a Southern thing.
And before you ask, I did try a grit one day, and I didn't like it.
A grit?
A grit.
How do you try a grit? You got to try at least a spoonful, or you're not even getting nothing.
It wasn't no spoonful.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, sir.
He's also referred to Coke as pop.
As pop.
Well, that was purely by accident. I've never done that before or since. I don't know where that came from.
Your true colors came out for a quick moment. You didn't say Coca-Cola. It's Coca-Cola.
What makes it worse is I said it at church. They stopped me dead in my tracks. They wasn't going to let it pass by.
That's blasphemy.
They called me out.
They prayed for you.
There's no. I have an alter ego. See, what you don't know is this: at church, I'm David most of the time, but sometimes they call me Dennis. When all this crazy comes out, it's Dennis. They'll say, they'll fill in. Well, you brought Dennis today. That goes back to a joke from work where a guy, a manager I work with, he didn't really know me that well, and he called me Dennis in the middle of a big meeting, and he argued with people. Said, "That's not Dennis, that's David." And he said, "No, that's Dennis. I've met him. I know him. That's Dennis." And they finally convinced him. So ever since then, I've been known as Dennis as well. So
Dennis,
call me David. Call me Dennis. Just don't forget to call me to the supper table.
Well, hey, you were talking about having the videos online after you pass.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking that way since I started my little channel. There's lots of videos of me on there, shooting guns, different things I really love to do and really enjoyed, and talking about the guns, reviewing things, going over stuff. And there is a real archive of your life in YouTube that will be here till the end of time, till the internet goes away. It could be whenever, but and I encouraged a person the other day to write a book, to leave a footprint, after you go. And I hope the same thing. I will remember this episode. I've screen recorded a little bit of it here too, and I'm going to remember that. And same for me, guys. If I go before y'all, there's 40 something videos on my other channel, and encourage folks to look me up when they need to think of me as the guy that was on YouTube, not as the guy that owed you money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What can I say?
Well, guys, we've been running on here for our first live for over an hour and a half, and it don't seem like it.
I know, it just flew by.
Yeah. So I tell you what, everybody, hey, y'all like and follow us here on Facebook. Yes. That really helps us a lot. It helps us track stuff. Subscribe and like over on YouTube. Mm-hmm. That really needs some help. But y'all help us, and we love you. We don't do this for that, but it helps us keep track of how well we're doing for y'all. And we do this because we enjoy it, and we want it to be a blessing for everybody. And if you feel that way, smash that follow and like and subscribe, and let's do all this together.
Yes, absolutely. Drop us a comment if you got something you want us to talk about, or a subject, or Southernism, or manners, any of that stuff. We'd love to. If you have a veteran that you would like to see honored, please write us at southernfriedpodcast@yahoo.com, and we'd love to talk to you about maybe getting the veteran that's special to you on the show.
Absolutely, and come on and be with us, guys. My last thought is this episode will be remembered by this right here.
He did have to throw that up there.
Robert threw the fish hook at old Earl, and we're not going to let him forget it.
No, and that's 15 years ago, and he's quit living in the past.
Oh, me.
Thank you, Earl.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. All right. Love you guys. Hey, want to go fishing with me sometime?
Enjoyed it, gentlemen. God bless you all.
You too, my friends.
Everybody.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome. And thank you, everybody, for watching.
All right. We'll see you soon.